A one-on-one fighting game by Bandai, Ultraman Towards the Future was one of the first Super Nintendo titles released in North America, hitting shelves in October 1991, only 2 months after the system's launch in that region. Unfortunately, Ultraman is honestly one of the worst games on the entire system, and I pity anyone who chose this game to be one of the first to bring home with their brand new 16-bit console. Ultraman starts off with nothing. There's no menu whatsoever. Pressing start on the title screen just loads up the first fight. Hope you weren't expecting options or multiplayer or anything exciting, really. Gameplay seems like standard fare for a fighting game from this era, but it's painfully simple in comparison to games like Street Fighter II, which had already been in the arcade for months when this game was released. Ultraman uses 5 buttons: 1 punch, 1 kick, jump, a special button, and a toggle on the right shoulder button to switch between power levels of your special move. As is typical for the genre, the goal is to reduce your opponent's life bar to 0 before they reduce yours. Unlike other games, however, you don't win when your opponent's life bar hits 0. Instead, they enter a finish phase where you must land a level 4 special attack to defeat them. They constantly regenerate health, meaning this phase only lasts a few seconds. If you don't have a level 4 special ready, which, by the way, takes 40 seconds to charge from empty to full, assuming you don't use any other specials during the fight, they're going to heal out of the phase, meaning you can possibly get them down to finish, miss the shot, and have to wait another 40 seconds for it to recharge. You, on the other hand, are granted no such grace period. Any damage that reduces you to 0 health will kill you, regardless of if it's a special move or not, so you're going to die. A lot. Made worse by the fact that the game actually uses a limited continue system, with only 2 continues available at the beginning of the game. Thankfully, if you choose to continue, your opponent's health doesn't refill. Unfortunately, your special bar empties when you die, so you still have to wait a minimum of 40 seconds to beat an enemy, even if they start with just a sliver of health left. Enemies are also far more capable to fight than you are. All of your moves are incredibly short-ranged and do little damage, and since you'll be waiting to save your special meter to actually win the fight, you're reduced to doing the only move that is actually relatively safe and has good range, which is jumping and punching. Yes, you'll see that a lot in this video. Every opponent has moves that beat this in priority, even moves like a tail swipe that hit a full body length away from where your animation ends, so expect to shout, "Oh, come on!" at regular intervals. Should you decide you actually want to use your special bar to do damage, you can expect that urge to vanish about halfway through the game. Enemies will start dodging them, literally becoming invulnerable to damage for a short period of time and wasting your meter. And yes, they can do this to the move required to kill them as well, meaning you have to try and hit them with it while they're doing something else or you're just out of luck. The game contains 9 fights, roughly 4 past the point you'll wish the game had ended. These monsters range from ridiculous to pretty cool looking, and I'm sure that fans of the Ultraman show will enjoy them, and they do fight in different ways, but this generally amounts to having different frustrating ways to counter your own strategies. For example, Zabokan has a charge attack that makes jumping attacks ineffective as he'll just run under you, and you won't turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around! Damn it! Majaba jumps around so much he makes my super cheap strategy of jumping attacks nearly worthless, and yet they're still the most viable way to fight him. Oddly enough, I found the 8th fight, Caudalar, to be the easiest in the entire game, and the final boss, Killazee, wasn't much harder. It felt like they assumed that nobody would get past Majaba and stopped trying to make them interesting. From a presentation standpoint, Ultraman fares slightly better. For as early an SNES title as it is, it does have some nice effects, and many of the backgrounds are actually pretty cool looking, especially the second to last stage and some of the city areas. Other stages are horrible, however. Why did we need these crappy foreground buildings in Bogan's stage, for example? They block the view of Bogan's head-groin thing, which is the best thing about Bogan. Sound design is really basic though, your typical grunts, shouts, and laser beam sounds. The sound that Ultraman makes as he leaves the stage is hilarious though. Is that the sound a hero should make? Can you imagine if Spider-Man showed up, saved everyone, and then was just like "Brrr!" and swung off? Beating the Game awards you a cutscene where Ultraman's chest spores turn into a man, and a clip show of Ultraman fighting the various monsters from the game, except Guidus, who just says hi. That 1-up is really gonna come in handy now that I've beaten the game. At least there's something here to make you feel like beating the game was worth it, even though it really probably wasn't. Ultraman is, undoubtedly, one of the worst Super Nintendo games I've ever played. Bad controls, short-sighted design choices, seriously, 40-second charge time, and lackluster fight design make this an ultimately forgettable experience for all those except people like me who had the misfortune of playing this game when it was current. At least a game this bad couldn't possibly have gotten sequels, right? Ah, damn it. For more information on older games and reviews like this one, please like and subscribe.